So ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the WWE 2K25 Universe Mode series, fresh off of the back off of Saturday night's main event where this man was in the main event, but everything seemed to fall apart for him and his partner Roman Reigns when there was a bit of a miss of communication between the two of them, which ultimately led to this man being pinned by the current World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens again. And I'm sure Bron Breakker is not going to be too pleased at the fact that he had to suffer most of the beating towards the end of that matchup, because up until that point it was fairly even between the two teams, but after Roman Reigns and Bron Breakker seemed to clash, this man took a lot of punishment. He ate a Claymore kick, future shock DDT, stunner, and then a frog splash to finish things off. But let's see what Bron Breakker has to say.
Saturday night, I took a beating. I took every damn thing Drew and Kevin threw at me. Future shock, Claymore, stunner, frog splash, and I kept getting up. Over and over and over again. You all saw it. I fought like hell. But what cost me that fight wasn't the man in front of me. It was the man behind me. The man who was supposed to be in my corner. Roman Reigns. I was the most dominant force in WWE for the last 18 months. I beat Brock Lesnar. I beat Goldberg. I beat Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. I won the Rumble. And I won the King of the Ring. I had everything under control. Until you decided to stick your nose in my business at Money in the Bank. And because of you, Kevin Owens did what he always does. He took the coward's way out.
And here is the OTC himself, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, clearly not pleased with what Bron Breakker has had to say here this evening. Bron Breakker seems to be blaming Roman Reigns for their loss back at Saturday night's main event, and I guess you can point the finger wherever you want to, but at the end of the day, Roman Reigns and Bron Breakker clearly couldn't work together as a team. Now, there's been one man who's been in the ear of Roman Reigns as of late, and that man is Seth freaking Rollins. And he was questioning whether Roman Reigns could trust Bron Breakker. And I wonder whether Bron Breakker may feel that he couldn't trust Roman Reigns.
You think this is about you, Bron? I came back because they made it personal. Kevin Owens broke my family. He laid out Paul Heyman. He tried to humiliate me in front of the world. And Drew, that coward, stopped me from getting payback. I don't care what match I ruined or who I cost a title. I'm not here to play favorites. I'm here to burn this place down if I have to.
And that's the difference between you and me. I wanted to lead this brand, and I did. You just want vengeance, even if it kills everyone around you.
Hold on, hold on. Before we continue, would someone please put a leash on these two? Roman, I've told you since day one, I'm not here for titles. I'm here to stop you. At Money in the Bank, I stopped you from ruining another main event. At Saturday night's main event, I exposed your ego again. And at Bash in Berlin, I want to finish this once and for all.
Or no! Shut up! Shut your mouths! Stop that stupid chant! Bron, I beat you. I don't care how many spears or deadlifts you've done in the past year. You lost. Roman? You want revenge on me? Good. Because after what I did to your wise man, I hope it eats you alive. And Drew, I still don't trust you. You say this isn't about the title, but let's not pretend you wouldn't claymore me into the third row if it gave you a shot. But for now, I'm starting to believe we both want to see Roman suffer. Bron, you want your rematch? I'll give it to you. And I'll beat you again, just like I did twice already.
I love the passion. I love the fire. So it's official, Bash in Berlin. Kevin Owens defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Bron Breakker. And also, for the first time in over a year, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, one-on-one.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we're into some singles action. The Authors of Pain looking to get their hands on the War Raiders once again. So it will be Rezar who's making his way down to the ring here tonight in singles action, as I stated, looking to get their hands on the War Raiders and inflict more punishment. The War Raiders and the AOP, ever since WrestleMania, have just been going back and forth at each other, and it seems like they've even become so distracted that they're not even focused on the World Tag Team titles at the moment. And that seems to be where DIY are just having a field day here on Monday Night Raw. But Akam and Rezar make their way into the ring. So you have to wonder, are they going to inflict more punishment on the War Raiders, and how much longer are these two teams going to be at each other's throats? And when are they going to finally decide to turn their attention back to the World Tag Team titles? And here are their opponents, or I should say Rezar's opponent. And it will be Erick from the War Raiders, who's looking to take down Rezar here this evening. But Ivar and Akam will be at ringside. So I wonder whether there's going to be a little bit of chaos here this evening. There always seems to be between these two teams, as the heat seems to be rising between them. But the War Raiders, I'm sure, will be looking to get back those World Tag Team titles, as I'm sure the AOP are probably thinking about that as well. Even though in recent weeks it seems like both teams have forgotten about that goal. And that's why DIY last week on Monday Night Raw seemed to mock the entire tag team division here on Monday Night Raw. They seem to believe that the entire tag team division are busy fighting each other. Meanwhile, they're sitting pretty at the top of the mountain. So here we go, Rezar about to take on Erick in singles action here this evening. And the bell rings and we're underway here. Big chop right out the gates by Erick, and a couple of forearms as well to follow. Rezar now back to his feet, and Erick just using the power into the cover early on here, looking to put away Rezar very quickly, but you have to believe that Erick didn't quite believe that he was really going to get the pinfall victory just then. A lot more damage is going to need to be done in order to finish this matchup by either man. Big elbow drop by Rezar. Now Erick back to his feet quickly. These two locking up in the center of the ring now. A little bit of a power struggle going on here, but Rezar just shoving Erick away there. And now once again, a bit of a test of strength between these two monsters. But now Erick just driving Rezar back into the corner here. And the referee trying to separate these two. But oh my word, a cheap shot by Rezar. A kick to the midsection. Erick now looking for a belly-to-belly throw. Tossing Rezar across the ring. The power of the War Raiders on sheer display here. Of course, it is Erick, the man in singles action right now, but well, he's being a little bit distracted here by Akam. He needs to remain focused on the task at hand, and now Rezar just taking advantage and tossing Erick down to the outside, making him crash and burn onto that concrete floor. Now sending him crashing into the steel steps. Well, this has all come because Erick, very distracted by Akam on the outside, and now Akam, well, the referee telling Akam to be careful here because he could get his tag team partner disqualified. But now Rezar heads to the outside and tells Akam that he has this under control. Stomping away at the fingers and the hand there. The referee continues the count, trying to get these two back into the ring, but you're going to struggle to do so, as Akam now doesn't like what he's seeing. Erick trying to fight his way back into this one. Now sending, Rezar into Akam there momentarily. But luckily, that impact wasn't too damaging for the AOP. Now, Akam just brought a kendo stick out just then. Interestingly enough, he didn't toss it into the ring, so you have to wonder whether that's going to come into play later on, but now Erick, with Rezar just deadlifting him up into a German suplex. And now Erick thought for a moment, maybe thinking about going for the pinfall, but off the ropes he goes, and Erick was looking for the blockbuster. But Rezar turns him inside out with a wicked clothesline. But a reversal once more by Erick. Erick seems to be on the top of his game right now. He did obviously get distracted for a moment earlier on, but that's the only blip that he's really had in this one. Double axe handle connecting off of the top rope. And Erick now sending Rezar off the ropes. And Erick with a massive drop kick. He may have actually connected with the knees just then. And into the cover he goes. And well, Rezar grabbed the rope, and Akam ensuring that the referee saw it. Well, Erick doesn't seem too pleased that Akam got himself involved there, but I mean, you can't really blame him. And now Rezar looking to steal a victory off of the roll-up. Akam up onto the apron, but a kick-out found. And Akam exposing the turnbuckle pad. But now Rezar couldn't quite take advantage of that distraction. The referee immediately over there, looking to replace the turnbuckle. But rake on the eyes there, and now into the spine buster. Rezar taking advantage of the distraction, looking for the victory. No, big kick out found by Erick. Well, Rezar, a rake to the eyes there, momentarily to take advantage, and then into a choke slam now. And this has surely got to be it. Rezar for the victory. No, Erick kicks out again. Well, Akam being a menace on the outside. And Erick now continuing to fight. But Rezar looking to stay on top of things here as he just tosses Erick across the ring. Ivar looking very uncomfortable on the outside here. As now Rezar up to the top rope. As now Erick begins to stir. And Rezar looking for a shoulder tackle, but it looked like Erick just ducked underneath for a moment there. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but Erick now possibly able to take advantage. Erick is feeling it here. And now once again, Erick allowing himself to get distracted by Akam. Akam on the outside just talking some trash as Rezar back to his feet now. And Erick has been caught. He needs to remain focused on the task at hand. He slides in behind and takes the knee out from underneath Rezar. Big kick to the spine as well. And Erick now off the ropes, looking for the elbow drop, but Rezar back to his feet. Big shoulder tackle there. And now, just repeated strikes to the nose there of Erick by Rezar. And now a big reversal found by Erick. That could be a turning point in this one, but Rezar able to dodge that clothesline attempt. A big headbutt and just tossing Erick across the ring. Really targeting the neck here is Rezar. And now Rezar slamming Erick face first into the canvas. And up to the top rope again goes the monster. It's not very often we usually see these type of men up on the top rope, but today they seem to be going for it. Akam again up onto the apron, exposing that turnbuckle again. Exposing the steel. And now Rezar could be closing in on a victory here. Rezar into the chokeslam. Connecting. And this has got to be it. Into the cover for the victory. No! Erick is again able to power out. The referee noticing that exposed steel on the turnbuckle pad, and now Rezar just backing up in the corner, talking to Akam for a moment there. Couldn't quite hear what he had to say. But now, Rezar heading up to the top rope, and Akam, he doesn't seem too pleased. It seems like Akam wanted Rezar to try and take advantage of the distraction, but Rezar still on top of things, at least for now, into a spine buster. And well, this could be the beginning of the end. Erick in big trouble. A chokeslam again. Connecting. And that's got to be it. Into the cover. Rezar for the victory. And he's done it. Rezar able to put down Erick here this evening. Lots of chaos on the outside caused by that man, Akam. But despite that, Rezar is the man standing tall. But when on earth is this rivalry going to end? Will it ever end? And ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we have the new #1 contender to the Women's Intercontinental Championship out here. But Dakota Kai is going to have to wait her turn, because this Saturday at Bash in Berlin, her Damage Control partner in Kairi Sane is going to get an opportunity to take down Becky Lynch. So going to have to wait and see whether Dakota Kai is going to face off against Kairi Sane or Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. But Dakota Kai has a message for the WWE Universe here tonight. Let's see what she's got to say.
You know, I've been thinking about Saturday night's main event a lot, about how things went down, and I need to say this clearly. I didn't ask for help. I didn't want help. I didn't need anyone jumping in for me, because I've fought tooth and nail to stand in this ring on my own. And when I beat Liv Morgan to become the #1 contender, I did that by myself. So to Kairi Sane, I don't know what that was. I don't know if you were trying to help me or trying to help yourself, but I didn't need saving. And I certainly didn't need more chaos. Still, like it or not, I'm the #1 contender, and in just 5 weeks at Survivor Series, I'm coming for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, whether Becky likes it or not.
And well, here is the woman who is going to be battling for the Intercontinental Championship this weekend, Kairi Sane. But interestingly enough, Dakota Kai believes that she didn't need any help and she didn't want any help back at Saturday night's main event, and you can take that as you wish, but I have to be under the impression that if Kairi Sane didn't come to the rescue, then the numbers game would have most likely overwhelmed Dakota Kai back at Saturday night's main event. But let's see what Kairi Sane has got to say to her Damage Control partner.
Dakota, I not mean to interfere. I saw Liv Raquel, they were doing. I saw them try to take your chance away, and I not let that happen. Not to my friend. But make no mistake, I still won the championship. I worked for it. I earned match with Becky, and even though you my friend, if I must go through you to be champion, I not hesitate.
I get it. I do. We both want the same thing. But you need to understand something, Kyrie. I've waited too long for this opportunity. Too many people overlooked me. Too many doors were closed in my face. So when it comes to that title, I'm not holding back for anyone, not even you.
Hold on a second, look who it is! It's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez just attacking both Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai here. Clearly trying to send a message that they're not finished with these two. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we have the woman who seems to have grabbed the attention of the Women's World Champion. It is Stephanie Vaquer, making her way down to the ring for some singles action here this evening. And last week, Stephanie Vaquer had a bit of a promo for us where she was explaining that it's been her dream her entire life to be here in WWE. And she also addressed the Women's World Champion to state that Jade Cargill seems to believe that Stephanie Vaquer simply has potential, but Stephanie Vaquer seems to believe that potential is the wrong word before she got interrupted by her opponent here this evening, who was in the middle of a brawl backstage with her arch nemesis. Well, here is her opponent. It is Jordynne Grace making her way down to the ring. So Jordynne Grace last week caused a big distraction for Stephanie Vaquer during that promo, because Jordynne Grace was brawling with Lash Legend once again. Those two just seem to be at each other's throats right now. Can barely speak. But Jordynne Grace and Lash Legend, you have to think that something has to give between those two. Lash Legend obviously costing Jordynne Grace a number of months from her career due to being attacked at the WWE draft. But now Jordynne Grace is back and she's in singles action, and she's maybe even got one eye on that Women's World Championship. So here we go, bell rings and we're underway here, and right out of the gate, Stephanie Vaquer getting the upper hand on Jordynne Grace. So Stephanie Vaquer now out to the apron and looking for a crossbody, but seemed like maybe she didn't quite have the trajectory planned out there as she had wished. But now Jordynne Grace looking to take control of this one. Stephanie Vaquer with a big right hand. These two back and forth we go. So Stephanie Vaquer seems to be the biggest threat towards Jade Cargill at the moment, or at least that's what Jade Cargill believes. But I mean, she should probably be a little bit worried about the other powerhouse in this matchup in Jordynne Grace, because if there's anyone that's going to match Jade Cargill for her power, Jordynne Grace would likely be the woman. But Stephanie Vaquer utilising her high-flying abilities, at least just for a moment, before Jordynne Grace now gets the upper hand. Jordynne Grace driving Stephanie Vaquer face first into that turnbuckle, and now once again dropping her face first into the turnbuckle pad. Jordynne Grace looking to take control of this one. You have to wonder, is Jordynne Grace finally going to be able to get through a matchup here without having any interference? I don't think we've even seen a single matchup for Jordynne Grace where there hasn't been some kind of interference for her involving Meta 4, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, that is. But an interesting fact is, last week we did see Jordynne Grace come to the aid of Naomi here on Monday Night Raw, as now Jordynne Grace just utilising her power here. And now, oh, well, we were just speaking about it, and look who it is. Jakara Jackson is here. And while Jordynne Grace needs to keep her eyes on her opponent right here, but Stephanie Vaquer now into a roll-up looking to steal the victory. Jakara Jackson looks absolutely pleased. And well, hold on a second, look who it is, Naomi's out here. Naomi looking to even the odds once again, or at least coming to the aid of Jordynne Grace this time. Just a week following on from when Jordynne Grace saved Naomi, now Naomi returning the favour. And what on earth is going on now? Well, Naomi and Jakara Jackson have just been taken away from ringside here, but now Jordynne Grace waiting for the arrival of, I guess, Lash Legend. Oh my god, she's got a steel chair in hand, and Lash Legend steel chair off of the face of Jordynne Grace. And well, Stephanie Vaquer, is she going to take advantage here? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like Stephanie Vaquer is going to try and maybe get to the ropes and help herself up, perhaps. Or maybe she was going for the cover, but Jordynne Grace back to her feet first. Stephanie Vaquer out to the apron here. What an absolute mess this match has turned out to be, and Stephanie Vaquer just missing out on that springboard dropkick. It looked like Jordynne Grace may have just ducked underneath it. Now Stephanie Vaquer with a big headbutt right on the same spot where Lash Legend just drove the steel chair into Jordynne Grace's face, and we've seen Jordynne Grace tap out before, but not here tonight, when she lost out to Io Sky a number of weeks ago during a triple threat match. But Jordynne Grace in that matchup, it must be said, took a lot of damage. But now Stephanie Vaquer fighting her way out of the clutches of the powerhouse. Now Jordynne Grace with Stephanie up. Oh, Stephanie slides in behind. And Jordynne Grace now sending Stephanie over the top rope onto the apron. Now Jordynne Grace going to join her. Maybe we'll actually get a singles matchup now. Driving Stephanie Vaquer spine first into the apron, and then dropping her onto the concrete floor as well to follow. Inflicting as much punishment as she possibly can here, Jordynne Grace. Big right hand drops Stephanie Vaquer. Jordynne Grace, what a statement it would be if she's able to be victorious here against Stephanie Vaquer, the woman who Jade Cargill seems to believe is her biggest threat. And if Jordynne Grace can maybe get a victory, and that's going to add to her argument as to why maybe she should be considered as the biggest threat to that Women's World Championship. But now, Stephanie Vaquer backing it up. And, oh, into the dragon screw. Mer just ripped the cartilage away from the knee there for Jordynne Grace. And now Jordynne Grace could be in some trouble. Stephanie Vaquer, big European uppercut to the back of the neck. Jordynne Grace back to her feet looking for, I believe it may have been a neck breaker there, but Stephanie Vaquer drops her down to the mat and looking for an STF once again, looking for the submission. But Jordynne Grace once again able to find a way to power herself out of that hold, using that brute strength. Now once again out onto the apron. Jordynne Grace, she's not going to go for it again, is she? Surely not. Jordynne Grace dropping Stephanie Vaquer again, spine first onto the apron. Really targeting the midsection here is Jordynne Grace. Becoming a little bit more brutal in her assault here this evening. Perhaps she's a little bit fed up of Meta 4 getting involved in her business. And now, Jordynne Grace just taunting her way towards the crowd here. And a stomp to the spine once again, really targeting that midsection here. Stephanie Vaquer could be in a bit of trouble, as now Jordynne Grace hoists her up and drops her down face first onto the concrete floor. The referee continues the count here. Jordynne Grace needs to be careful because could be a count out here. But into the spinning sit-out powerbomb. Stephanie Vaquer in big trouble. Jordynne Grace sending Stephanie across the concrete floor on the outside. Is she going to take a count-out victory here, perhaps? Jordynne Grace looking to take the count-out victory, an 8 count. Jordynne Grace seems to believe that this one's over. Stephanie Vaquer just back to her feet. And, well, it looked like she may have made it back into the ring, but the referee has waved this one off. And so Jordynne Grace gets the win via a count-out. But hold on a second, look who's back here. Lash Legend just taking out both superstars right here. Jordynne Grace and Stephanie Vaquer. Well, this has become an absolute mess. Someone needs to gain some control here. This matchup has just basically been thrown out the window. Couldn't even really get going, but hold on a second. The Women's World Champion now. Jade Cargill taking out Lash Legend from behind, trying to send a message clearly. Hold on a second, she's heading into the ring and Stephanie Vaquer seems to have rolled out of there. Luckily for her, but Jordynne Grace at the mercy of the Storm with a big boot connecting. And Jade Cargill maybe about to have her way with Jordynne Grace here. What on earth is Jade thinking now? Hold on a second. Oh my god. Oh my god, surely not. Jade Cargill up on the top rope with Jordynne Grace jaded off of the top rope. My, oh my. Jade Cargill sending a message to the locker room and even telling the referee that if he wants to get involved, she has some more for him as well. But Jordynne Grace has been laid out here on Monday Night Raw. Jade Cargill sending a message to the entire locker room. And hold on a second, we had backstage Shawn Michaels and Jade Cargill.
Well, well, well. Look who it is. Let me guess, Shawn. You're out here searching for my next challenger, huh? Let me make it easy for you. They're all running scared. Come on, you really don't have anyone else left to serve to me, do you?
Actually, after what you pulled out there, I do have an idea. Since you're so dominant, since every time I give you one opponent, you knock them down, how about I raise the stakes? This weekend, at Bash in Berlin, you're going to defend the Women's World Championship against not one, but two opponents. And those two women, the ones you laid out earlier tonight, Jordynne Grace and Lash Legend. Triple threat match. No countouts, no DQs. You don't even have to be pinned to lose.
Perfect.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we have the man who was trying to chase after that World Heavyweight Championship once again. He set his eyes on Kevin Owens, but a couple of weeks ago, Drew McIntyre stepped up and told Gunther that if he wanted to go after the World Champion, he would have to go through Drew McIntyre. But unfortunately for Gunther, Finn Balor and AJ Styles decided to get themselves involved in that main event last week on Monday Night Raw and ultimately cost Gunther his opportunity at going back after that World Heavyweight Championship. And now the Ring General is certainly not pleased here this evening, but he's making his way down to the ring with a message for the WWE Universe. And you have to wonder, is it going to be a message for the World Champion? Or is it going to be a message for Finn Balor and AJ Styles? I'd have to assume it's most likely for the latter. But the Ring General looking very, very annoyed here, we may say. But let's see what he's got to say.
You know, I came to WWE to do one thing and one thing only. Become the World Heavyweight Champion. But for over a year, it seems like every time I get close, something or someone stands in my way. AJ Styles, you've beaten me every time we faced, but that was before. And Finn Balor, you and your little group of misfits have gotten involved in my business, and now you've cost me another opportunity. But I'm not finished. I'll never be finished until I get what I deserve. And that's the World Heavyweight Championship.
And well, here is the newly formed Bullet Club. We have Finn Balor and AJ Styles. And they seem pretty pleased with themselves. Let's see what Finn Balor has got to say in response to the Ring General.
Gunther. Always the big tough guy. But let's be honest here. You've spent so long trying to chase the top spot, only to fall short again and again. You can't even get past AJ Styles. Every time you two have faced off, you've been left looking up at the lights. It's almost adorable. You see, Gunther, I know exactly what it's like to be at the top, to have that World Heavyweight Championship in my hands. And I also know what it's like to lose it. I let my arrogance, my ego get in the way last year, and look where that got me. But now, I'm done making the same mistakes. I've reformed the Bullet Club, and I'm coming for that world title. And when I get it back, Gunther, trust me, I won't be losing it again. But you're standing in my way, and I don't take kindly to that. You've been a problem ever since you showed up. You think you deserve a shot at that title? You don't. Not when you've failed time after time. And that's why we're going to deal with you.
So what's it going to be then, Finn? Huh? You and your little clique coming to try and take me out for good? If you want to settle this, let's do it. I'm challenging AJ Styles to a match at Bash in Berlin. You've been in his corner every single time, so now let's see what happens when it's just me and him. One-on-one.
You really think we're just going to let you have a fair match, Gunther? Come on, we run things around here now. But you know what? You want the match. You got it. But don't think for 1 second it's going to be fair. I'll have Finn and whoever else I want at ringside to make sure this is over once and for all.
Gunther, you may have a big mouth, but your time at the top is over. And if you want AJ, you'll get him on our terms.
Hold on a second, look who it is! JD McDonough taking advantage here with a kendo stick. Clearly he's part of the Bullet Club as well.
The following is scheduled for one fall. That is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we're into the Intercontinental Championship title match. And it is Ilya Dragunov who has earned his opportunity at fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. So a number of weeks ago, back when Braun Strowman was still the Intercontinental Champion, this man was able to successfully pin the Monster and defeat him just before he defended the title against LA Knight. And LA Knight would go on to defeat the Monster and take the Intercontinental Championship. And now Ilya Dragunov finally gets his opportunity here this evening. So Ilya Dragunov, is he going to be able to defeat LA Knight, the megastar, and walk out here in Berlin as the Intercontinental Champion on Monday Night Raw? We'll have to wait and see, but Ilya Dragunov, this is a big, big opportunity for him. He's yet to hold championship gold in Universe Mode, and this could be his night. And here is the Intercontinental Champion. It is the megastar, LA Knight, the man who moved over from Friday Night SmackDown here for 2K25's Universe Mode series. And over here on Monday Night Raw, this man has been on one heck of a roll. I believe that he's still undefeated here on Monday Night Raw. And that's why he's got championship gold around his waist. No one seems to have an answer for this man. But LA Knight defending the championship for the first time here this evening against the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. And the question is, who's going to walk out with the championship around their waist here this evening? Will it be the Megastar, or will it be Ilya Dragunov?
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, Ilya Dragunov. And his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 241 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion,
So, LA Knight, the man who defeated Braun Strowman back at Money in the Bank to earn the title. Ilya Dragunov also defeating the Monster Among Men, but last week, Ilya Dragunov also defeated Rey Fenix. So, Ilya Dragunov has been on one heck of a roll himself. So, two titans colliding here in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Someone's hot streak is about to come to an end. LA Knight right out of the gates into a neck breaker, not wasting any time. Straight into the cover here. LA Knight looking a little bit desperate, perhaps. LA Knight knows the threat that Ilya Dragunov holds. He's just into a neck breaker there. Ilya Dragunov could be in some trouble if the Megastar stays on top in this kind of way. But Ilya Dragunov able to slide out of the way of that one and into a clothesline. And Ilya Dragunov is feeling it here, feeding off the WWE Universe. Big slap across the chest, but a reversal found by the champion. And LA Knight now trying to get the crowd behind him. Heads back into the ring. Maybe taking a moment too long there as these two locking up in the center of the ring. Ilya Dragunov now driving the champion back to the ropes as the referee separates these two. Big right hand by Ilya now drives the champion back into the corner, and face first into that turnbuckle goes LA Knight. Big elbow by Knight this time. Big right hand by Ilya. These two men, I'm sure this is going to be one heck of a matchup between them. These two men know exactly what's at stake. It's a big opportunity for both of them. LA Knight doesn't want to lose that championship on his first title defense, but Ilya Dragunov once again overpowering the Megastar, driving him into the corner, and then a cheap shot by LA Knight there, kick to the midsection, as LA Knight's frustrations seem to be boiling over ever so slightly as he's driven down to the mat. Ilya Dragunov has been on one heck of a roll, and he could be about to continue that here this evening. He seems to have one up on LA Knight here. LA Knight can't seem to get anything going. Ilya Dragunov now the power. Well, he's keeping his grasp here of the Megastar. Not two, but going for a third here. Ilya Dragunov with the power. The champion is in deep trouble, and Ilya Dragunov feels it. Signaling that it could be the end here. Ilya Dragunov looking for the powerbomb, but LA Knight, luckily for him, able to find a reversal. Ilya Dragunov heading to the outside, the champion up to the top rope, big body splash connecting. And Ilya Dragunov is in deep, deep trouble. Just moments ago it seemed like the challenger had everything under control, but now the champion getting himself back into this one. Ilya Dragunov sent back into the ring here. LA Knight just taking his time, perhaps going for a springboard. Unlike LA Knight, but he's pulling out all the stops here. Looking to retain the title into the cover. Just a 1 count found on Ilya Dragunov. And a big kick to the side of the head there. Drops the champion. But LA Knight now finds a reversal of his own. Back and forth we go. LA Knight may have been thinking about that BFT. But Ilya Dragunov isn't going to have any of that. Now Ilya Dragunov may be looking to try and make the champion tap out here with a single leg Boston Crab. But LA Knight back to his feet. And LA Knight now hoisting up the challenger. Ilya Dragunov in trouble. Up onto the shoulders now. And hung up onto the top rope. For a moment, I thought that LA Knight may be going for a powerbomb to the outside there, which certainly would have inflicted a lot more punishment than just hanging up. Ilya Dragunov on the top rope, but a big clothesline connecting now. And LA Knight is slowly grinding through the gears here. But who's going to walk out as the Intercontinental Champion here on Monday Night Raw? Ilya Dragunov is feeling it. LA Knight back to his feet. Big slap across the face. Big elbows as well. LA Knight is out on his feet right now. Ilya Dragunov into a DDT. Quick fire punches there. And while Ilya is backing it up into the corner, I think we know what's coming next. The champion's in trouble. Ilya Dragunov, no. Big boot connecting for LA Knight right on the jaw. Stops Ilya Dragunov in his tracks, and now LA Knight talking a little bit of trash, telling Ilya to get back to his feet. Ilya Dragunov creates a little bit of room back into the ring though, as now LA Knight connecting with a BFT out of nowhere into the cover. This has got to be it to retain the championship. No! At the last possible second, Ilya Dragunov somehow got the shoulder up at a 2.9 count. Well, the WWE Universe don't want this matchup to end. But LA Knight now heading up to the top rope. And Ilya Dragunov wisely out onto the apron here, but LA Knight now trying to figure out what his next move is. But he's been caught. A big headbutt there by Ilya Dragunov. And Dragunov seems to... Oh my word. Ilya Dragunov connecting. I was just about to say, he seems to have one up on LA Knight. Seems to be one step ahead of the champion into the cover. New champion to be crowned. No. LA Knight, the one able to power out this time. As Ilya Dragunov once again psyching himself up here, feeding off the WWE Universe. Don't seem to have a crowd favourite between these two. It's very evenly matched as well. Big German suplex there by the challenger. Up to the top rope he goes. Waiting for the champion to get back to his feet here. Ilya Dragunov with an elbow to the back of the neck, and into the cover he goes, hooking the leg. Can he do it? No, just a 1 count found. LA Knight still in there looking for the senton, but he missed out on that one. Big clothesline for the champion. And LA Knight now could be looking for it. The megastar elbow couldn't connect. Ilya Dragunov back to his feet, and he's caught LA Knight again, but again another reversal. Ilya Dragunov trying to find that powerbomb, but LA Knight not about to allow it to happen. Now back to their feet again. Big strikes here. Back and forth we go. So evenly matched between these two. What a main event. LA Knight drives Ilya Dragunov down to the concrete floor on the outside. Now big kick to the hamstring here. Ilya Dragunov, another reversal. Back and forth we go between these two. It's so hard to tell who's going to be the one to walk out with the title, but Ilya Dragunov inflicting a lot of punishment, targeting the ribs and the midsection on the outside, using the concrete floor as well to his advantage, sending the champion back into the ring. Now up to the top rope goes Ilya. Ilya Dragunov looking for the senton, but LA Knight seemed like he just rolled out of the way at the last possible second there. Luckily for the champion, as now Ilya Dragunov went to an arm drag, and LA Knight is in big trouble. Ilya Dragunov once again driving him down to the mat, and he's going to back it up into the corner. We know what's coming next. He tried to connect with this once already, couldn't do so. Ilya Dragunov connecting across the entire ring. That's got to be it, a new champion. Ilya Dragunov, can he do it? No. LA Knight again powering out. And Ilya Dragunov, the frustration beginning to build for him. But into the BFT connecting again. And the champion has to drag the challenger away from the ropes here. Rope breaks can be a factor, but is that going to cost LA Knight? Into the cover, hooking the leg. Can he do it to retain the title? No! Ilya Dragunov again gets the shoulder up. My goodness. Who is going to walk out as the champion here this evening? Both of these men, you could argue, deserve it. Driven face first into the turnbuckle now. As LA Knight backs it up into the corner himself. Waiting for Ilya Dragunov to get back to his feet here, taking a moment to himself. Is that going to cost him though? It already costed him when he had to move Ilya Dragunov away from the ropes there just moments ago, following on from that BFT. And now power slam connecting. A big knee to the spine as well. Now it's LA Knight's turn to target in the midsection. Looking for a double axe handle, couldn't connect with it. And Ilya Dragunov looking to steal the victory, to steal the championship, and he's done it! Ilya Dragunov has stolen the title from LA Knight here.
Here's your winner, and new WWE Intercontinental Champion, Ilya Dragunov!
What a main event this evening. New Intercontinental Champion.
You remember this, don't you, Roman? The silence, the solitude, the fight with your brothers beside you. You, me, and Mox. The Shield. We tore through WWE like wolves. Untouchable. Unstoppable. And back then, Roman, everything was simple for you. You didn't have to talk much. You didn't have to scheme, manipulate, and play God. You just had to destroy. And we made sure you could, but that was a long time ago, huh? Since then, betrayal has been your soundtrack. Sami Zayn turned on you. Jimmy Uso turned on you. Solo took your crown. Your Ula Fala. And then, the one man you never thought would leave you. Main event. Jey Uso.
And into another spear by Jey Uso.
He did what no one else had the guts to do. He ended the era of the tribal chief. He pinned you.
Main event Jey Uso has toppled the tribal chief.
And after that, you haven't been the same, have you? You've had no family, no bloodline, no brothers to walk beside you, no shield to protect you from all of the betrayal. But it doesn't have to be that way anymore, Roman. You know where to find me.